And today, our first guest is someone who's also been looking at this issue. Sabi niya he couldn't sleep last night, so he dug up some numbers. We have Philippine Star correspondent Janvic Mateo, who writes special reports on the budget for the Philippine Star. Hi, Janvic.
Hi, Janvic.
Hi, Janvic.
Janvic, kamusta yung editor nyo?
Good afternoon.
May tanong si Ronald, Janvic.
Kamusta yung editor
Sorry, I
nyo?
didn't get the question.
Kamusta daw yung editor
Hindi niya
nyo?
ikaw narinig.
Okay lang ba? Okay lang ba yung editor nyo? Wala kang reklamo?
Hinihintay na ata yung stories ko.
Oo nga, bilisan niyo. May deadline pa yan.
Pwede ka magreklamo kay Ronald, Janvic. Okay, so you wrote a long post about this, no? About yung finact check mo si Congressman Arnan Panaligan yesterday. And actually, that's what I wasn't able to do because
Wala tayong hawak na data pa.
we spoke to him just a few minutes after Senator Ping gave his privileged speech. Hindi ko pa hawak yung speech, hindi ko pa rin hawak yung numbers, but now we're getting a closer look at all the things that he said. And what was your biggest finding?
I think just for context, I was listening to the interview yesterday, and one of the things that he kept on saying is that the bulk of the projects were already in the NEP or in the proposed budget. And then when that arrived to them, wala na silang magawa kasi andoon na sa proposal ng executive. So that's what I wanted to test. I didn't even go deep into the alleged anomalies and controversies, etc. I just wanted to look at yung claim niya na nasa NEP na talaga yung project. So when I started with 2023 because he kept on mentioning the 2023 projects, and what I found was that there were only 8 flood control projects listed in the DPWH list of projects in the proposed 2023 budget. But then, nung lumabas na yung 2023 GAA or the approved budget, I noticed na nagkaroon ng 11 na additional projects. So from the original proposal of 605 million, naging 1.4 billion yung budget for the entire Oriental Mindoro province. So from that very point, nakikita natin na kasi sabi niya, hindi na nila magalaw, yung budget bulk nun galing ng executive. Pero ito, it more than doubled after the congressional hearing. So definitely, there were congressional realignments or insertions na nangyari dun sa province. So that's what I looked into. And then I looked at the succeeding year. So mas naging complicated siya. Noong 2024, the proposal was 1.7 billion, pero naging 4.3 billion. So more than doubled again ito, 2 billion yung nadagdag. From 24 proposed projects, naging 41 yung projects for 2024. Now, in 2025, it's a bit tricky. So, mataas yung naging proposal ng DPWH. I'll give the congressman the benefit of the doubt. Baka ito yung sinasabi niya. 14.1 billion yung proposal. Bumaba siya after the approval. Naging 13 billion na lang. Pero, nakita pa rin natin yung realignments. So, yung 84 projects na proposal ng 2025, 26 yung natanggal, tapos nagdagdag ng 22 projects. So may 80 projects pa rin. So there were still realignments. So parang kung babalikan natin yung sinabi niya na walang magawa yung Kongreso sa pagpo-propose ng flood control projects, parang hindi yun yung nakikita natin if we compare the proposal and the approved budget.
So Janvic, malinaw sa iyong data na hindi totoo yung sinasabi niya na parang sinubo na lang sa kanila yung NEP at wala silang realignment o insertions na ginawa.
Well, he acknowledged at some point na may insertions naman, but he was saying wala daw siyang kanilaman doon since he's not part of BICAM or the small committee. So to be precise, yun yung sabi niya. But these numbers are pretty staggering, no?
Saka usually, ang usapin kasi ng insertions, hindi naman necessarily na ikaw yung nandun eh. Ipapakiusap mo yan doon sa nandun.
Ibubulong mo.
Bubulong mo yan. Yun ang nature na insertions.
Bulungan yan eh. Yan ang problema natin. Hindi nga malaman kung sino yung nagpo-propose. Walang minutes, walang records. At kung meron mang nagpo-propose, wala namang record keeping yan eh. Hindi siya nakatape, wala siyang surveillance video. Yan ang pinag-aawayan ngayon dun sa House, di ba?
Yeah.
Asan ba yung record ng small committee?
Yeah.
Sabi yung
Actually,
small
Ami-
committee na absorb na daw ng Committee on Appropriations.
Oo.
Paano yun?
Pero actually,
Oo.
Ami, may record yan sa BICAM. Ang mahalaga, mailabas yun. Paano, halimbawa, kahit iba yung nagpasok niyan, alam mo kung sino yung nagpasok. May record yan. Pero ang problema natin ay ayaw ilabas yung record ng BICAM. Yun yung
May
problema.
record
Hindi
nga
natin
ba?
alam kung sino member ng BICAM.
Jan Vic, coming back to your table, what's very striking is yung numbers jumped exponentially from 2024 to 2025. So kahit pa NEP, kahit pa GAA, take a look at the numbers. From 2024, we went from 1.7 billion sa NEP, naging 14 billion is what the executive proposed. Tapos sa GAA naman, it went from 4.3 billion to 13 billion. So those are pretty hefty jumps. What insight do you have on this?
This is very surprising din, no? I was looking at the list of projects nung 2023 kasi. Sabi ko nga initially, hindi ako makatulog lang. So, 8 projects lang siya. So, madali lang ilista. Tapos pagdating doon sa 2025, biglang 84 projects na. Ang dami na nung projects, no? So, nakakagulat siya. And then, if we're looking at, going back to what the congressman said yesterday, sabi niya mahaba raw kasi yung river. So, pag tinignan natin yung listahan ng projects, merong downstream left side, upstream left side. So, ang daming similar names, pero probably iba't ibang location siya. Same river, pero iba't ibang barangay. So, we are seeing an increase talaga. We saw an increase noong 2025. So magandang itanong din sa DPWH, bakit from just a handful of projects suddenly we saw not just Oriental Mindoro but the entire Region 4B, nakita ko yung malaking pagtalo, no? But again, part lang to nung entire budget. Maganda ring tignan siguro yung entire 2025 kasi baka hindi lang naman ito nangyari sa probinsyang ito. No? We just started with this one kasi siya yung na-mention ni Senator Lacson, and
Yes.
kahapon niya merong denial na sinabi dito sa program natin.
Mukhang mabait si Jan Vic ayaw niya sagutin diretso yung tanong mo na sa 2025 kasi may election
Ikaw nagsabi
yeah.
niyan.
Kaya
That's
nga ako,
true.
dahil mas malisyoso ako kay Jan Vic. Dahil baka takot si Jan Vic doon sa kanyang editor.
No, we can't say that because we're journalists. We can only try to find out the truth. Ikaw yung nagsasabi niyan
Oo nga.
Ikaw nag-connect the dots.
Di ba election naman
Hindi,
talaga,
tatanong ko lang
2025?
Sabi kasi ni John Vic, hindi daw siya makatulog. John Vic, bata pa yan Bata pa, mga younger generations to. Common ba yung feeling na yan, John Vic, sa generation mo? Nag-uusap-usap naman kayo, di ba? Kayo mga and you are teaching in UP, no? Puro bata yan. Ano yung mood ng mga bata? Sinusundan ba nila tong mga iskandalo to?
Bata ako, malisyoso
After all,
na ako.
taxpayer na rin pati mga bata ngayon, di ba?
It's surprising looking at these numbers. I think if I look back at this post, bulk of the shares galing sa mga estudyante ko rin. And one of the things na pinag-aaralan din kasi namin ay paano i-report itong budget. And we can see yung interest ng mga kabataan to look at the numbers. And one of the things na lagi naming sinasabi, nandyan kasi yung dokumento. Kailangan mo lang ng konting patience na isa-isahin yung mga numbers. And yun nga, yesterday kasi when I was listening to the interview, I was traveling, so napapakinggan ko lang. Natatawa na lang ako dun sa sinasakyan ko nung naririnig ko nga yung mga sagot na hindi alam kung bakit nagkaroon. Pagdating sa GAA, nandyan na lang siya. So parang thank you from the people of Oriental Mindoro na andito na yung pondo. At least ganun yung pagkwento nung congressman yesterday.
Is there a way, Jan
Ayan
Vic, to because yung GAA, of course, that's public information. We can parse through that line by line. Pero I guess throughout your research, anong parts of the process are most opaque to you? The ones that you struggle with the most in terms of getting the information. Kasi there's at the very start, NEP, we have access to that. The GAA, we have access to that. It's the magic happens in between. So anong part of the process is most difficult for you?
Tulad nung nabanggit kanina, yung small committee, yung insertions. Kasi ang hirap, small committee and BICAM, no? Hindi natin nakikita sino ba talaga yung nag-propose, saan ang galing yung proposal, bakit nagkaganito yung proyekto, bakit may tinanggal, bakit may dinagdag. So that's number one. We don't know where where the funds came in, where the projects came from, saan kinuha yung funds, etc. Another would be the unprogrammed funds. Kasi walang listahan yung unprogrammed funds nung budget. So hindi rin natin nakikita kung ano ba talaga yung mga listahan doon na nakaabang yung mga proyekto. Syempre, beyond this, budget pa lang kasi to, no? So hindi pa natin nakikita yung project implementation. Hindi pa natin nakikita yung entire list. Sino-sino yung mga nakakuhang contractor. I think the latest website of the president is a good initiative to track that down. So ang next siguro ay balikan itong mga proyekto dun sa mismong lugar to check. And hindi natin kaya yun na tayo-tayo lang. No? Maganda nga talaga na even the public would be harnessed yung kanilang participation to verify the projects moving forward.
John Vic, on the bigger picture kasi, nabanggit ni Senator Ping Lacson, ang daming budget na halos eksakto. Diba? Eksakto, walang butal. Iba-ibang lugar, iba-ibang project, pero pare-pareho yung number. At nakita rin ni President Bongbong yon. Sabi niya, this is impossible na mangyari. Diba? Diba, usually nangyayari yan sa BICAM eh. Dahil sa BICAM, ang lalaki ng mga pondo na nare-reallocate mo eh. Yung galing sa PhilHealth, mismo galing sa doon sa foreign assisted na mga pondo, nire-allocate mo doon sa BICAM eh. Kaya very crucial na malaman natin anong nangyari sa BICAM. No? Hindi lang naman yung NEP ang nababago ron eh. Ang dami nagulat ako, pati foreign assisted nababago ron.
That's right. Regarding dun sa budget, napansin ko nga dito, noong 2023, may nadagdag na 2 big ticket na 300 million sa nauhan. Yun, siguro isa yun sa nire-refer ni Senator Lacson. Tapos the succeeding years, parang naging, at least for this province, naging ceiling siya, yung 300 million.
Nauhan is actually in the district of Congressman Panaligan.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, and to be fair, Nauhan is the biggest municipality in the province, but we don't know if that is enough to justify yung ganun kalaking projects amount ng projects na nakuha nung municipality na yun. And tama si Sec Ronald na parang pare-parehas 250 million, 200 million, walang butal. Merong pailan-ilan na may butal. So magugulat ka bakit the rest parang nakasakto lang yung allocation.
John Vic, ang pinaproblema, ang tinatanong ng mga tao, kung may mapaparusahan ba? Kasi tayo, journalist tayo. Sinasabi nga ni President Marcos asan ba yung mga investigative journalist? Kahit meron kang dokumento, meron kang mga tao, meron ganyan, pagdating sa korte, bakit hindi pa rin mapatunayan? Ano yung kulang natin?
Kasalanan mo na naman, Ami.
Di mo pa rin And we actually write a lot about all these things, no?
Yeah.
Nagkaka-libel ka na Pero pagdating sa korte, hindi pa rin siya no legal. Madaling, hindi siguro no legs to stand on, pero madali siyang sabihin ng korte. Kulang yung ebidensya niya Hindi siya beyond reasonable doubt. Ano yung nakukulangan mo? Ikaw, naghahanap ka lagi ng mga facts Ano yung pinaka-mahirap kunin para magkaroon ng direct link?
I think even if available yung documents, the core documents like the budget, sino yung contractor, maybe may mga resibo like yung pinakita ng presidente. Pero mahirap patunayan halimbawa yung allegation ni Senator Lacson na may hatian ng porsyento kasi hindi naman nire-resibuhan yun, di ba? Or kahit na makita mong substandard yung isang proyekto, binawasan ng pondo, kinupit, napunta dito, walang paper trail yun. So yun yung isa sa madaling lusot ng marami dahil hindi nakikita yung paper trail. Kung naalala natin yung PDAF scam, 'di ba? Even yung mga recommendations sarili nakikita or nabibigyan ng pruweba, no? So malaking factor din siguro yung need for witnesses, whistleblowers who can actually testify na eto yung nangyari kasi alam nila yon. I think at this point hindi pa natin nakikita yung ganong klase ng mga testimony. Although may sinabi si Senator Lacson na he is willing to provide names and probably evidence and witnesses doon sa mga allegation na sinabi niya sa speech niya yesterday.
Ano, didiinan mo dyan, John Vic, yung mga DPWH, yung mga district engineer, na kung gagawa ka ng deal sa kanila, na mas yung kaso nila ay mas mababa, kung te-testify sila laban dun sa mga principal, yung mas malalaki yung responsibility dun sa anomalya. No? Usually, ganun naman ang ginagawa dyan. Na didiinan mo yung mga vulnerable na malinaw yung merong paper trail, may ebidensya, and then sila yung mag-expose dun sa, sino ba yung kausap nila ng mga politiko?
Only if they squeal. What
Yun
if,
nga,
what
yeah.
if,
Yeah.
you know, what if tumakbo na? Or what if, I mean, some of the ones that Senator Ping showed, for instance, ano yun, Darcy and Anna, wala naman mahanap na records, right? They went to the site where the office was supposed to be and there's nothing there. Paano mo habulin yun, right? And then the other thing with this web of corruption is, tama si Ami, it's going to be very hard to pin down the source of funds. Kasi, of course, in Congress, wherever the money comes from, I mean, nobody signs anything, right? Even in the provincial government, it's not like, you know, kunyari, may nabayaran na governor or mayor, it's not like they're gonna sign something.
Pero may paraan
Names are
dyan
not
ang Commission
on
on Audit Dahil matagal na nilang kabisado yung ganyang sistema. Kaya,
Sabi ni Ping Lacson, kasama yung auditor.
May,
diba?
may 1%.
0.1 to magkano yan?
Pero
Percent.
Pero Ami, kumpara kasi sa ibang ahensya, hindi naman ganun karami. Halimbawa, kumpara sa DPWH, mas hindi naman ganun karami sa COA.
Kaya nga,
Diba?
0.1% lang.
Maliit lang. Kaya marami dyan, hindi kasabwat. No, kaya marami rin yung naglalabas ng notice of disallowance, di ba? Marami yung naglalabas. Yung ganun ba?
Hindi, pero isipin mo din, Ronald, kung si Ping Lacson, nakuha daw niya yan kaysa sumbong sa Pangulo eh. Sandaling-sandali, nakuha niya yan. Kung yung auditor nagtatrabaho, bakit hindi nila nagawa yan?
Tama.
Tama. Ikaw, John Vic, what do you think of the website? Kasi
Nakatulong ba sa'yo?
you get information from all sources, right? Nakatulong ba yung sumbong sa pangulo.ph?
Initially, yung information very helpful, lalo na kung gusto mong sundan yung mga contractors. Maganda siyang initial na nandun yung listahan ng contractors. Pero isa rin sa napansin ko, hindi pa lahat ng proyekto nandun. So one question na gusto kong itanong sana ay, ito bang mga nasa listahan ng project ay na-implement lahat, na-bid out lahat? Kasi baka kaya wala pa dun sa listahan, dun sa sumbong sa Pangulo website. Kasi hindi naman pala na-implement. So maganda ring tignan. So kung hindi na-implement, nasaan yung pondo, naka-lodge pa ba siya somewhere? Or ayun nga, magandang balikan din talaga. It's a good source of information. But definitely, we need more, lalo na yung sa insertions kung babalikan natin yung mga funding.
So it's just a good starting point, but you still need to put in the legwork, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about sa COA website or COA? I don't know if you have access to that. Do you have access to the COA reports?
I've been reading through. I haven't read itong sa specific sa flood control, but I tried looking at yung previous na audit reports ng DPWH and even yung mga provincial, no. Hindi ko alam kung na-miss ko lang kung merong bang specific mention before or wala talagang lumalabas na specific na audit nitong itong mga line item projects na ito ng flood control. Kasi kung naalala natin, recently nag-order ang COA ng special audit ng Bulacan Flood Control Project. So the fact that there was a need for that special audit, ibig sabihin, hindi nakita probably or hindi na-audit ng masinsinan in the previous audits. No? Magandang point yung sinabi lang din kanina na yung pag-track ng budget, yung pagtingin sa contractors, that's just the first step Yung prosecution, that's the other layer na baka minsan we're too focused on looking at the controversies, alleged anomalies.
Yeah.
Pagdating sa prosecution, we fall short kasi
Wala, semplang.
of documents and evidence.
I mean, that's
Saka medyo matagal ang records ng COA maglabas
Yes.
Nilalabas nila pero medyo delayed sila kasi nag-iingat sila. Pwedeng nagrereklamo ang mga remember si Rodrigo Duterte noon paulit-ulit sinasabi.
Yeah.
Bakit labas ng mga premature report, hindi pa naman kumpleto, hindi pa daw napapasagot yung mga ahensya, yung mga ganun-ganun ba? Merong ganyang mga
Yes.
hindi naman palusot pero it's the process
No, di ba, during that time, si then COA Chair Michael Aguinaldo was under a lot of pressure from Duterte. Pinatawag pa nga, di ba? This was
Bakit daw
during the whole,
labas ng mga premature quote-unquote
this was during the whole
premature
Farmally
dahil
mess.
hindi pa daw nakakasagot.
Oo.
Meron naman daw time given yung mga agency to answer,
Yeah.
to present documents, ganon. Kaya hindi siya kagad makukuha.
Yeah,
Ang
exactly.
huling tanong na lang dyan, Vic, may bonus ba kayo dyan pag natapos nyo na maayos yung report?
Okay.
Tatanong ko po kay Ma'am Ami after.
You can do it
Hindi
now.
ako si Mauricio Villanueva yun.
Let's put her
Sana
on the
yung mga
spot.
reporter.
Ano na, Ami? He did great investigative work.
Okay, kaya nga tinatanong ko kung may bonus.
Okay.
Kaya ano yun, kay Mauricio.
We'll leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us, Jan Vic Mateo, Philippine Star correspondent. Salamat.
Salamat,
Thank you
Jan
for
Vic.
your reporting.
Thanks, John Vic.